We're going to be working on some recall today with Sofie. I'm going to show you a little bit of a game that I like to play whenever I first introduce some recall. Notice that Sofie is wearing her e-collar, but also see that I do not even have the remote in my hands right now. That collar isn't even turned on. So I just want Sofie to get used to wearing it. And then I also want to make sure that her recall is solid and she has a really good foundation for obedience before I start implementing the e-collar to her other commands. So right now, long line is very important, and then treats, obviously, and this is just her normal dog food because she has not ever turned down a piece of kibble or treat in her whole life, I bet. But what we're gonna do for this recall game is toss the kibble away from us. We'll say, get it. And she's very intrigued with my hand. She doesn't really look for the treats necessarily. She just wants to chomp my hand because she's so used to the treats always being in a hand. So you're gonna have to work for it a little bit. But with this game, get it. It makes it a little bit more realistic. Our dogs are sniffing on the ground. They may be further away from us, and I want to be able to recall them back to me off of that. Some people, when they work recall, they'll put the dog in a sit. They'll take a couple steps back and they'll say here, and which that's, it's still a good game to play, but let's face it, every time we recall our dogs, they're not going to be in a perfect sit expecting us to recall them. So this way, it gives them something else to do, and we can add in some higher level distractions later. And as soon as she picks up that treat, I'm going to go ahead and say her name, and then Sofie here. Good job. Good girl. But as she's going after that treat, good girl. Yes, here. Very good. And you want her to turn her head as soon as she hears that marker word yes. Get it. Good job. Let her find it. Eats it. Yes, good girl. Where did it go? Did you get it? Here. Good girl. That's a good girl. Good job. And then this way we can practice this. Whoops, that stuck to my gloves. Go get it. No, I'm not letting you just give up on it. Right here. Look, there's the treats. Your dog also struggles with this. Those treats are still in the grass. I'm going to make her go get that later. But let them sniff in a certain spot. Come here, Sofie. Good girl. Here's some more treats. There's some more. Nope. Okay, get the treats. Get the kibble. Here it is. Good. Sofie, here. Yes, good girl. Even though I don't think that she ate all of those, but she still recalled off of them because she knows that more are coming from my hand. You want your dogs to be really excited about recall and have them know that you are the most important thing to them. We don't want other dogs to be too much of a distraction. We want to be more exciting to our dogs than anything else. Good girl. That's a good girl. So Sofie's really got the hang of this. Might speed this up for just a minute or two, and then we'll talk about one more thing at the end. Okay? One last thing that I do want to mention before I cut this video off is a long line is very important. It's just this 12-foot leash that I have on her right now. For the instance that if Sofie decides that the food or the smell or whatever else is more important than I am, I can toss the treat. If she chooses not to come back after I call her, then I'm going to pick the leash up and then I'm going to reel her in. Good girl. So that she's got to figure out that if I recall her, that means she has to recall. I don't want her to sometimes recall and sometimes not, because then, what's the point of practicing that? Good girl, Sofie. You did very good. Also, one more thing, I don't think I mentioned this. After I toss the treat, Sofie is going to find it. I'm going to say, Sofie, here. And then I'm going to take some steps back so that I can draw her in my direction. That's a good girl. But we start with the short distance first. We can start tossing treats farther away and recalling at random times. So don't steal those out of my bag. But that's what that looks like for this introduction. And let me know if you have any questions, and we will see you all tomorrow.